Hey everybody, my name's John. This is day one of 100 days of coding for me. Since it is day one, we'll be reviewing something that's not necessarily new, but I still think it's important. And so that thing is GitHub and Git. It's a version control system that also, using GitHub, you can collaborate with other individuals online. And so let's get started. So right here I have my terminal window open, and I also have the directory where we'll be working. So just in case you guys don't know, to get from one directory to another, you can just use CD, which stands for change directory. Let me just clear my screen here. So, two dots will take you back a directory. So if I want to go forward, first I'd probably look and see what's in this directory. So I'd type in ls, which is just going to show me what's in there. And now I know I can cd into this screencasts folder, which is where I'm working. So to start, let's make a new directory and we'll call it git demo. Let's call it git demo. Okay, and as you can see, it populated the folder here. Now let's cd into that directory. And as you'll see, there's nothing in there right now. If you do ls-a, that actually will show you hidden files as well. Again, there's nothing in there. So basically where Git comes into play is it allows you, as I mentioned, it kind of allows you to maintain version control locally on your computer, and also lets you collaborate with other people online. So let's go into this folder here. Let's say I want to start making some new files. I'm working on a new project. So use command touch, and let's say we're making some Ruby files. So let's just call this hello.rb. All right, and here's my Ruby file. And just for demonstration purpose, we'll make a text file too. Okay. So we've put in some work into this project, I guess. Got our two files there, and we've decided we want to implement Git. So how do we do this? To start, we'd use git init, which is just basically establishing that directory that you're in as an empty repository. Well, in this case, it'll have two files in it. So it'll say initialized empty Git repository in user, and then here's your file path. And you'll see at the end here it has this .git. And basically, all Git does is it's not too complicated. It just adds this hidden directory. You won't see it here unless you have your computer set to show hidden files. But as I mentioned in terminal, you can list your hidden files with this command. And you'll see it added this .git directory here. And I can actually cd into that. And we'll see what's in here. So you get some stuff. It's really not important to know what it is. I don't even really know what all of that is. I mean, I have a vague idea, but you don't really ever want to mess with that folder. That's just going to keep track of everything basically in this directory, and it keeps it out of the way so you don't have to worry about it. So at this point, you probably want to check the status of your repository. So you can just use this command, git status, and you'll see a bunch of stuff. I'll go over what this all means, but basically, since I added these two files in, it's saying that they're untracked. We haven't actually told our Git repository to keep an eye on them. And they give you a little hint here as to how to do it. So it's this git add command. And now if I just did git add, I don't think that would work. Let's actually just try it and see what happens. Exactly. So it's saying nothing is specified. So you have to tell Git what to add. And you could just specify the file. Say I just want to add one and not the other. So now if I go to git status, I'll see that just my hello.rb file is being tracked, but goodbye.txt is not. Now, I probably want to add both, so let's just go ahead and add the other one. A nifty trick, instead of adding one file at a time, which can obviously be cumbersome, you can just do git add and then period, and this will add all of the files in the directory. So now if I go to git status, you'll see that they're both in there. So now what do we do at this point? All of these files, now that they're being tracked, it's basically in what we call our staging area, but it's not in the repository yet. We still have to do what's called a commit. So it's just this command, git commit, and then you want to add a message, so -m, and then in quotes you put your message. So usually I'll just say initial commit and enter, and now we have our first commit. Say we want to see what we just committed, you can use git log, and you'll see that I added my first commit on that date. So let's end that. Just get out of that, by the way, it's just Q. My terminal might be a little bit different than yours because I'm using iTerm. It adds a bit extra features. Check it out if you're interested. It's very helpful. Like, you can see what branch you're on in Git, which you don't know what branch is yet, obviously, but I'll explain that. So yeah, all right, moving forward, we've gone over git init, which initializes your repo, git status, git add, which will add files to your staging directory, and then git commit, which then actually commits the files to your repository. Tomorrow I'll go over how to use GitHub.